Hi, I'm Hilary and I'm a dairy farmer. And just a little bit about myself. Colin and I have been dairy farming since the 1970s. We started off share milking. Over those years I turned from being a farmer's wife to a farmer director, and currently we own several farms in the South Island, and we just are passionate about what we do, which is dairy farming. I have had experience in the boardroom. In the 90s I was elected as the first woman director on New Zealand Dairy Group, and that led to 10 years of governance experience on various boards including AgResearch, Mighty River Power, to name a few. So they were quite large boards. It was also during this time that I was the co-initiator and the founding chair of the Dairy Women's Network. It was during those years of my governance experience, particularly at the dairy company level, that when I went out and campaigned to be that first woman director in my trusty ute with my corgi dog, I went out and I saw the woman carrying the buckets and inside doing the accounts, but they were just not there at dairy company meetings. It was basically a male domain. And a group of women in the Waikato, we got together and decided that we needed to set up a professional body for dairy women, to give them the confidence to understand that they are part of this team, that they should be seen as business partners in the dairy industry, not just as farmers' wives or share milkers' wives. And so we got together and said, right, let's start an organisation called, and we'll call it the Dairy Women's Network. We'll use technology rather than face-to-face for these women, because we are all so busy with so much on in our communities and in our farms. So Willie Geek and myself went to a conference in Washington, and we met up with a lot of women, thousands of women from all over the world, spoke to some of the groups internationally, and came back with the concept of the Dairy Women's Network, as I say, technology based. And so we started with an email network, and then we had several conferences which were organised by the other two co-conveners, who were Christina Baldwin and Robin Clements, and they were extremely successful. 300 women from Hamilton poured in to learn about the business of dairy. And then it expanded. We had a little glitch there at one stage, and we got viruses in our email network, as you did in those days, and it worked out that we lost members. So then I became the founding chair. At that stage I'd left my governance role with the New Zealand Dairy Group. So we got to Agmart as a sponsor, went to them and said, look, we want to make this organisation national. We feel it has huge value and we want to expand it right through New Zealand. And so we got funding from them. It was about $30,000 a year, and then a group of us got together and got the Dairy Women's Network going. This was in 2002. So from 2002 to now, we have an organisation from those early years of the 500 or so, started with 300 actually, and now we have over 5,000 members. So it's a huge growth organisation, and it shows a need for women to learn about their business, for dairy women to go out and meet other dairy women, to connect, to link, to discuss, and feel as if they are very much businesswomen and part of the very large businesses that they help manage and direct. So I would say it's one of the most significant success stories in the dairy industry, in any dairy industry in the world, from a female perspective. Dairy Women's Network is now a highly valued organisation. It's seen as integral to the dairy industry. We're out there, we're learning, we're having dairy days, modules, conferences with 500 women at some of these conferences. It's a huge organisation, and I just feel so proud that I was part of that little group that helped start it. Very proud indeed.